Have you ever met someone whose condition is so rare that you almost don't believe it's real? Well, the people on today's list have rare conditions that will blow your mind. Imagine living with a body that looks much older than you actually are, or never knowing what it's like to feel pain. Let's take you through incredible experiences and challenges of people that live an inspiring life. Their journey shows courage and the amazing ability of humans to thrive against all odds. Before we dive into this list, make sure to leave a like on this video. Also, if you would like to join this month's Star 5 giveaway of a brand new iPhone 16, all you have to do is subscribe to our channel and watch this video until the end to find and comment the hidden message. Good luck. Number 10. Zenan. Born with a rare condition known as congenital hypertrichosis, Yu is not your typical man in China. In fact, he is mostly called the hairiest man in China and possibly the world, as his condition causes excessive hair growth on his body. However, in typical extraordinary fashion, Yu transformed what should be a disadvantage into a unique identity. From birth, it was always clear that Yu had an extraordinary amount of hair that covered about 96% of his body. This incredibly rare condition made him the subject of constant mockery, even earned him the name Caveman. However, Yu draws strength from the support of his family and gets through this condition with a positive attitude. He turned this unique look into a trademark and launched a career in entertainment as a singer and actor. Number 9. Lombard. Dylan suffers from mandibular hypoplasia deafness progeroid syndrome. Yes, it sounds like a lot because it really is. This condition is a severe and rare disease that causes premature aging. Despite being a teenager, Dylan is one of only 13 people globally with this condition that stops his body from storing fat, among other complications. Despite the odds not looking in his favor, this young man from Glegshaw, Scotland is hopeful and determined to live as much of a good life as possible. Dylan Lombard faces other challenges such as deafness, a small lower jaw, and a beaked nose. This extremely rare condition, which affects just 1 in 600 million people, has no known cure, and although he was born with this genetic condition, his symptoms only appeared when he was 18 months old. It took about 10 years of regular visits to the hospital to properly diagnose Dylan of this rapid aging disease. Despite being hurt about the constant stares and hurtful remarks from people, Dylan found solace in photography as he draws inspiration from his hometown in Glasgow. Number 8. Nomi. Nomi is a mother of 4 who was diagnosed with a motor neuron disease known as amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This condition has made her unable to move around as much as she would love. However, this amazing woman studied classical and lyrical singing at the music controversy in Luxembourg, and has a thriving career as a soprano opera singer. She has delivered several memorable performances and never fails to include a motivating speech to encourage others. Getting diagnosed with ALS was a long and challenging process, especially as there were no specialized centers or hospitals for motor neuron diseases like this. It all began in 2013 when her right leg felt stiff and weak. Within a few months, she couldn't walk without a cane, and the condition had her move to her left leg. Eventually, her arms and muscles in her back, neck, and face weakened. She couldn't stand, walk, or sit in a normal chair, all regular activities she could do before 2013. Nomi began using an electric wheelchair in 2018. She also developed breathing issues, but is still happy that the disease hasn't taken her voice. Nomi is passionate about her singing and seeks solace in the despite not being able to ski, hike in the mountains, or ride horses like she used to. Number 7. Ashlin Blocker. Here's another extraordinary individual born with a rare condition known as congenital insensitivity to pain. When you have a stomach ache, it is usually a sign of many things like hunger or intestinal problems. This is an early warning system, but Ashlin Blocker can't feel any physical pain. Born in Georgia, her parents noticed that little Ashlin didn't react to painful stimuli like other children. They became more worried when they took their 8-month-old to an eye doctor and she didn't react to a dye placed in her irritated eye. This led to the diagnosis of an extremely rare condition that affects only about 100 people worldwide. This genetic disorder affects the nervous system, preventing sensation of pain, temperature, and the ability to sweat. While there's the good side of never knowing what pain feels like, there's also that fear that she could pass away from a disease because she didn't have the warning signs. Researchers are studying Ashlin to come up with a possible cure, but Ashlin keeps hoping that there's something amazing in store for her future. Number 6. Tiffany Wedekind. Progeria is an extremely rare condition that makes people age as much as 8 times faster than usual, and Tiffany is possibly the oldest person alive with this condition. A 15-year-old with progeria would look like someone over 100 years old. However, despite the odds, Tiffany surpassed this life expectancy despite facing tooth decay, hair loss, and premature wrinkles. Even doctors are shocked that she made it this far, but Tiffany claims to have a secret that helps. She spends a great part of her day practicing yoga and claims that this has helped her maintain a positive outlook on life, even as a woman in her 40s. Tiffany believes that she is lucky to be alive and tries to maintain a positive mindset, especially as she watched her brother pass away from progeria at 39. Tiffany and Chad are a rare example of siblings with progeria. Thankfully, she has refused to let this condition define her and remains optimistic about her future. Number 5. Kirsty and Katherine Fields. Imagine suffering from a condition so rare that it is named after you. Kirsty and Katherine are the only people on Earth suffering from Fields' condition, an extremely rare degenerative muscle disorder named after them. Due to this condition, they lost their voices at a young age and could finally communicate better with the electronic speech machines they received on their 18th birthday. These unusual sisters even picked different accents, with Kirsty falling in love with the Australian accent while Katherine stuck with an American one. This made it easy for people to tell them apart. The young women have more than 100 uncontrollable muscle spasms in a day, which leaves them in great emotional and physical pain. This disease drains them in every way, but the bright side is that they have each other to talk to. Number 4. Olli. Olli is the only person in the world with a sickness so rare that it couldn't be named. This young man captured the attention and hearts of many through his battle with unnamed medical condition. At first, Olli's parents noticed that he wasn't developing like other children. Symptoms like physical abnormalities and growth delays puzzled the doctors so much that they recommended extensive medical tests and consultations with specialists to find out what was wrong, but there was never a clear diagnosis. This made it difficult to develop a targeted treatment plan for a child that can't lift his head, sit, talk, or walk. Olli also can't see or hear and has to endure more than 100 seizures daily. However, he has the support of his parents who work hard to spend as much time as they can with him. Of course, this is also a heavy financial burden, and his parents have had to crowdfund to help foot their numerous bills. Number 3. Emma Fogarty. Emma is a woman in her 40s living with epidermolysis bullosa. This extremely distressing and painful condition is a rare genetic disorder that causes the skin layers and internal body linings to separate and blister at the slightest touch. Epidermolysis bullosa is so rare that only 1 in 18,000 babies are born with this, with the severity ranging from mild to severe forms that can be incredibly fatal. Emma's skin is so fragile that all it takes is a little touch for it to blister and peel off. More than 80% of her body is covered in bandages to protect herself from further damage. However, this disease also affects her internally, as Emma has to take various medications to get through the pain daily. Thankfully, Emma is quite positive about her situation and believes that the various research efforts may finally lead to discovering a cure. Number 2. Haruna Rama. Rama's life is one of the most unique stories you would ever hear. The young girl from Kano in northern Nigeria captured the attention of the world when her pictures became viral online. Although she was born as a healthy little girl, her growth abruptly stopped at infancy and she became confined to a plastic bowl. Only her head developed while the rest of her body was small enough to fit in a bowl. Her condition remains undiagnosed as no one is sure about the cause of this sudden painful illness. Her father dedicated several years of his life, spent millions of naira to treat Rama's condition, but it all remains a mystery. Still, she was optimistic that she could eventually run a small grocery shop one day, despite her condition. Thankfully, several charities and specialists provided help and support to Rama and her family to take away some of their financial burden. Unfortunately, Rama's dreams came to an end in December 26 when she passed on. Number 1. Billy Owen. Billy Owen is an inspirational figure in every sense of the word. He turned a devastating cancer diagnosis into a unique journey. At first, Billy enjoyed a normal life as a mechanic, living a quiet life with his family. However, everything took a dark turn when he began experiencing severe nasal congestion and other symptoms that didn't respond to conventional treatments. Several months after, he was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer known as sinonasal undifferentiated carcinoma, which affects the nasal cavity and surrounding areas. He had to go through several extensive surgeries to remove the tumor after being assured only a 10% chance of survival. From this surgery, he lost his right eye, part of his skull, and a huge portion of his nasal cavity. Apart from this dramatic change in appearance, he also lost his ability to smell. It took a lot to recover from the surgery. However, instead of hiding away, Billy embraced his uniqueness and began to work in the entertainment industry, where he plays zombies in movies and performs at haunted houses. And that wraps up today's video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video from Star 5. Thanks for watching.